3 months ago, an announcement was made by Microsoft, the Surface Duo.
Well, the emulator version of it is here, so developers can produce apps to better suit their new form factor. But is it really? I mean, LG V50, the dual screen, catch my drift? Okay, so they're not totally wrong, but when the Surface Duo was unveiled, a lot of people compared it to the Galaxy Fold, whereas I think this is the more proper phone deserving a comparison. Poor LG. Let's dive in. Just before we begin, folks, disclaimer, I was unable to experience the emulator myself, and I resourced the emulator experience heavily from the guys at Windows Central. They definitely have a much in-depth look regarding this, so I'll leave a link right here. What we'll be discussing is the similarities and differences between LG and Microsoft's dual screen. The resemblance hits hard immediately after you open the phone, two displays that open up with a 360-degree hinge. The focus on better multitasking with two full apps open side by side also matches both companies' preference over just one big blown-up app. LG and Microsoft's method also leads to more reliability and practicality. These are all flat displays made of glass, while foldable displays require it to be plastic, much more scratch-prone. And without the folding display, the phones tend to be a lot less fragile, with no need for special screen protectors. They're also less cooler than the foldables. Okay, I may have run out of similarities. Moving on, the differences. There's quite a lot actually. Both dual screens have similar concepts, but the execution is completely different. LG leans towards a sort of hybrid between a clamshell and a traditional smartphone design, giving the user the choice of either one. For Microsoft, they seem very committed to their design. The crazy thin and modern hardware with two identical integrated slabs and the rather wide aspect ratio just shows Microsoft wants people to really embrace their new design. Furthermore, while the V50 is using its raw power to basically operate a separate OS along with its main one, Microsoft's version delivers a more cohesive experience where the two screens, when open, interact with each other in regards to app layouts and function. This can be seen as the biggest difference between the two platforms. Microsoft is really owning to the idea of operating two screens and multitasking. It is much easier to rearrange the apps or have the two displays dedicated to one single app. And instead of just blowing up the app for a wider screen, Microsoft has shown us that it can be used as a sort of secondary side panel for apps like email, where they will show the inbox on one side and the contents on the other. And because the dual screens aren't another accessory but a full feature, the level of optimization Microsoft has enabled is quite on another level compared to LG's. For example, when using the dual screen on the V50, it always prompts me to disable the gesture navigation and the blue light filter, which is frankly annoying. I shouldn't have to purposely disable features to get the dual screen feature. The Duo in this regard seems to have none of these issues, and the handling just seems a lot more natural. And that story continues with its hardware. The Duo seems like it will have no trouble lying flat on a desk, whereas for the V50, the case creates this awkward gap that makes it really hard to use on any plain surface. Here's the tip: if you place the stock case provided in the box beneath the case, it's a perfect match. Now, I don't mean to bash LG, but Microsoft may be onto something here. It's competition that drives development. The V50 definitely has its perks when it comes to a more average type of user. Although it's pretty rough around the edges, you can still achieve many of Duo's functionalities with the dual screen case. And you also have the benefit of using the phone on its own when the two screens become a bit cumbersome. And trust me, they will. So it's probably not an absolute win for either sides here. Lastly, they share one common difficulty. Microsoft unveiled the emulator for developers so they can start building apps to suit the new form factor. But the problem is, at the current stage where Android doesn't officially support the dual screen layout, there just doesn't seem to be enough reason for developers to care. This is the same problem LG and previous Windows phones had faced. It's just hard times for a single manufacturer to stir up enough hype for something new. I mean, sure, if the Duo was to really take off and sell a whole bunch, maybe there could be more app support, but at the current stage, no, probably not. That's pretty much all I have for today, folks. I surely do enjoy the dual screen, and I hope Microsoft's involvement in this category entices secondary benefits for LG as well. Tech reviews and content go up every week, so if you're into that, consider subscribing, and a thumbs up would be highly appreciated. Thank you for tuning in.